Warm greetings on behalf of FridayWaters, an initiative of the W4W Foundation, a think tank built as Citizens Collective. We welcome you to today's session. FridayWaters is a continuation of signature series of Wednesdays for Water. The activities initiated as a series for FridayWaters include Water Talkies, Water Reading Club, Water Thesis Club, and Water Arts. Each of these sessions takes place once a month. The idea of FridayWaters is to bring water knowledge available in various alternate forms at one place to highlight the opportunities and challenges related to water. The idea is to also increase the outreach of alternate water practices and scholarship in the wider network, as well as the water sector itself. The FridayWaters sessions are designed to be fun-filled and yet fruitful to learn about the water matters. Do keep following us at www.w4w.in for regular updates. The Water Arts session In Conversation with Bombay ka Shana is hosted by Living Waters Museum, and we are running a series with that. My name is Mansee Bhargava, and I'm the moderator of the session. And with me, I have Dr. Sara Ahmed as discussant of the session and also to take the session forward. So let me just hand it over to Sara and invite her and also thank her for taking responsibility of the series for some time. So over to you, Sara, and we are really looking forward to knowing a little bit more about Living Waters Museum and also about today's session before you invite the speaker of the session.
Okay, hi everyone, and thank you, Mansee. I'm thrilled to be here. The Living Waters Museum was launched in 2017 as a virtual repository curating visual stories on India's water heritage, the built heritage, the cultural and the natural heritage. Once COVID started, we began looking at urban waterscapes and working with a cross-section of people to create exhibitions that traced the particular histories of a place, from tanks and ponds to rivers and living water systems and culture and livelihoods. So our first such exhibition was on Bombay's waters. And that's where I came across Aslam Saiyad and his amazing work as a photographer. Aslam's also an anthropologist. And I mean, I'm thrilled that he's here and that he will help us further the kind of conversations that we've been facilitating on the arts with a range of artists, you know. And to us, bringing in art isn't just in terms of visual art, but it's also music and dance and performance and storytelling. And it's really great to see how museums are opening up towards these forms of engagement. So without further ado, I'd like to invite you, Aslam, and maybe you'd like to begin by doing a little bit of a better introduction. I know you've got some amazing work that you've done with us, but also in several other projects on waterways that you're going to be talking about this afternoon. So go ahead, Aslam, the floor is yours.
Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mansee, and thank you, Sara. Living Water Museum has been doing great work, and it's motivating artists around the, I don't know, world, but at least in India, I see a lot of artists has been motivated and supported by Living Water Museum. And thank you very much. And because of you, I was able to do the Bishti project. So that's, again, thank you so much for that. And people liked it, and I've shown this exhibition all over Bombay. I'm continuing doing so with the children and the people of Mumbai. So shall I share my PPT now? Should I start my presentation with your permission?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So wait a minute. Let me share the screen.
Mansee, you'll be adding Aslam's bio in the chat, right?
Yes, I will.
So the journey of my relationship water, it's not it's little complicated. Not complicated. It's not. It wasn't direct. It started with my attempt with photography. So I started this is connected with my photography thing. I studied engineering. I worked as an engineer. I changed my field to animation and I continued working as animator till 2019. But in between, I started doing photography. And when I started doing photography, I got a different eye to the things I did. I saw a world differently. And that's how I started telling the stories of the people. So my journey started where I live in Bombay. So I live very close to a nala. There are like a lot of people, they don't understand in Mumbai what is river. They don't know what is river basically. We are not from, we don't we are not from the land where there are like big, huge rivers flow. Like when you go travel to north, you see a lot of like, there are big, big rivers. If you compare those rivers in Mumbai, we don't understand that basically. So that is not in our culture basically. We say nala, gutter hai, nala hai. So gutter and nala is very close to us. And every time we cross, like wherever we go to any place in Bombay, we cross several gutters and nalas. So all filthy nalas, but even that was to me also. Like I understood these nalas, but suddenly somebody said these are rivers or there are rivers. I did not know that. Basically, वो मुझे पता ही नहीं था. So when I became a photographer, I spent my
Hey,
childhood in Bombay.
Aslam, I don't want to interrupt you, but are you going to be moving the screen? I mean, the slides?
I'll do that also.
Okay.
Let me introduce. I'm giving a small little introduction.
Okay.
Then I'll move. Okay. So this is how. So I was grown up in Borivali, close to where I did my first project on rivers. So where we used to play in national park, and I used to see that there is a clean water bodies flowing. But outside the national park, there were like a lot of nalas and gutters. So suddenly, when I became a photographer, I realized that this nala and that river is the same water body, and that's how the journey of my documentary started. So I'll start with what I saw when I started my river project. Okay, later I titled this project as Mumbai River Photo Project. Okay. Okay. Are the pictures running now?
Yes.
They are moving. Can you see? Okay. Okay. So the first picture which I shot in my project was this girl where she was washing utensils on the banks of a water body, and I asked her, "Who are you?" And she told me that she's from this place, and this was a surprise for me because I did not know there are people who live in this place and who are from this place. So people in Bombay are mostly migrated from in different time to Mumbai, but this girl was from the same place. So I asked what she's doing here, what she has studied and what she's doing. So she said, "Okay, I'm studying in 12th standard in nearby commerce college." And I asked her how she goes to that college. She said, I go by bicycle. Then from her place to the National Park gate, it was 7 kilometers. And from that place to college, it was 4 kilometers. So 7 plus 4, 11. So every day she used to travel 20 or 11, 22 kilometers on her own through the forest and jungle. So that again surprised me. How like being Bombay's richest municipality, how these people are not getting the facilities. So she was washing utensils at the bank of the Dahisar River. Okay, so I thought, why not I explore this whole river from the start to end, and why not I see who are the people who live along this river from the start to the beginning. And this is how I started my journey. So I'll show you some pictures from now. This was a girl where she was gathering water. Okay. This is the first shot what I was talking about. This is the Hisar River. and she's washing utensils. And this is her cycle where she goes to the college. So I thought, why not I go and explore the village? And these are the children where the children every day they travel 14 kilometers to go to school. They live by the river called, there is a pada called Navapada. This is her house where she lives. So I thought, why not I tell, why I should explore the place. I should explore how the people are, how they relate to river every day. Okay. So this is about Aarti, her house, her accessories, her story. On the weekdays, weekends, she help her parents. I explore whole Pada, how the. So when I went into the Pada, I saw there were only children and mother and the parents. They go outside national park to earn money. This is Aarti's little sister. This is a routine for them in monsoon. Every day, every time they come from school, they just go to the river and have a bath. They are so privileged, I'll say. When we talk about underprivileged and privilege, so I don't know what I'm not privileged, so I'll say, right? I have like 500 square feet house, and they have like entire village, entire jungle. They can play and they have access to that place. So I think they are most privileged. This is again Aarti's small sister getting ready. So the elder children, they take care of the younger children when their moms go out to work. Okay. So what I found over there is there are no school, no colleges, no hospital, nothing. Don't have any facility inside national park. Okay. I'll share some of the river stories, what I found over there. Okay. This was like this is just a picture where somebody asked me, or some newspaper asked me to make a picture, so I did this. This is, you can see in the background, the Daisa River is in full swing in monsoon time, few years back. So I'll stop here a little and I'll try to uh, talk on this picture, because this is very important picture where on the right hand side, you can see people like us who come to the environment and
You have to unmute yourself, Aslam. You got unmuted. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, please
Okay.
continue. Yes.
So on the left hand side, you see there are children who are enjoying the river. Okay. They are playing, they are making fun, and they are enjoying. And on the right hand side, people not bothered who are they, basically. So they will come and go. For them, they are detached from these people, and they will just go out. So there is a wall. This is a dam on the river. So this is how we are disconnected with the nature, basically. We just come and go. Like entire life, they will come to national park, but they won't be knowing what types of trees are there in national park, who are the people who live inside national park. And there is a small little pada. If you see in the front, there is a small little pada. So they are not bothered. They will just go, they will eat their food and go. So this is what, there is a limitation in our life. We just go, we'll spend like 1 hour, 2 hour, and we'll go. That's it. So, and we talk about privilege and underprivilege. And every day these children come to the river, after school, they enjoy, they have fun, and they have real life. So this is what I wanted to show with this picture. I'll go ahead now. So I'll read one quotation from a book. In the beginning, there was a river. The river became a road, and road branched out to the whole world. And because the road was once a river, it was always a hungry. So when I first came across to this quotation, I did not understand. But gradually, when I started exploring the urbanization and what happened to the Daisar River, Poisar River, and all the rivers in Bombay, I understood this quotation. Okay. So I'll be showing the pictures. I won't comment on every picture. Okay. So this lady who is taking the first harvest of the coli vegetable, it's indicator of first monsoon rain. Okay, this is very important. And for every harvest they have some festivity to eat. Before that, they don't eat this vegetable. Okay, so the water is connected with so many rituals and culture basically. This is Daisar River. This was the second time. This was like the Warlis have just started celebrating the Hindu festival, and this was just second time they were celebrating Navratri. So this is a picture where this indigenous lady is collecting firewood, and her daughter is also carrying it. And there are other people, tourist people. They just don't like even like me when I visit. These people were invisible to me. Okay, after I became photographer, I started understanding these people. Later, I got to know that these people are the owner of this land, basically, and we have encroached their land. So there are a lot of vendors. They go inside this forest and sell daily things to this tribal people. Even the culture is fading away. I saw this Wali art made with the chalk uh, by the artist brother has made this Wali art with the chalk on the red tin sheet. These are various way to, this is basically a chicken intestine wound around that stem. This is used to catch crabs in the monsoon time. Okay. So recently they started celebrating the mainstream religion festival, but you can see a red cloth in Warli art. So there is a juxtaposition also over here. You can see the mainstream religion and indigenous icons. So basically, this is as simple, very simple. I'll say temple. The how Warli they have very basic praying places, spaces over there. There are no big idols. It is open. People come and pray and go like that. Now, it's completely opposite in the cities and urbanized areas. So this is a Dhobi Ghat inside the Daisar River. And moment that river goes out of national park, immediately it becomes very dirty, polluted. Okay, you can see juxtaposition also, like how there are a lot of clothes and how there are a lot of people who are staying there. So I wanted to compare that, the consumerism basically. So this is removed now, but this is Dhobi Ghat inside the Daisar River. I'm showing two pictures here where inside national park there are no walls to the river, and outside national park there are like we make walls just to hide the river so that nobody can see that is a river, and we can throw anything we wanted without seeing the river. And here when you see the river, you want to keep it clean, right? So we have encroached river, we have made houses in the river. This is Poisar River. This is a very important, very popular school in Kandivali, where the pillars or the base of this school is inside river. So we have started after the Chitle Commission, after the big flood in Bombay in 2005, the Chitle Commission was set up and they wanted to make this wall so that they wanted to tame the flood. So problem with this wall is, firstly, they don't understand the boundaries of the river, and they make the width very small. So whatever space is left. So originally the river was very big width wise, but they have made it very small and narrow. So with this wall, it's not going to help the flood. It's making floods more intense. And even they have made the flooring also, like the bed of the river is also cemented, right? So the things like flood has become like it has become more intense than the previous earlier time. And here in if you compare the earlier picture where the children were playing in the river, here in the when the city when the river goes in the urban places, they can't play inside this dirty water. This is at where Mithi River empties in the Arabian Sea at Mahim. This is at the Hisar Gauthan, where river it goes into the creek, and see the condition of the mangroves. So I also documented the people, Koli people in the Hisar Gauthan, and they have stopped their traditional occupation. And this is one of the Kolis. He is not fishing anymore now. He has become a rickshaw driver. He owns a rickshaw. Okay. He's showing me the last boat of the Hisar Gauthan. And he's wearing the driver's uniform. Okay. I was lucky to see this boat. And basically he's a rickshaw driver now. So the culture is gone. The tradition of fishing is gone now in most of the Koliwadas in Mumbai. Only few Koliwadas are surviving, and they are in the last phase basically. Okay, so this is one of the Kolis who's. So this is a condition, the bad condition of the jetty. They say jetty is like where they launch their boat in the sea. Okay, there are a few pictures. This is one of the rivers of Bombay. This Mogra River. Okay, this is Lakshmi Industrial Estate at Andheri. You can walk actually on the river, right? It's filled with so much of trash. This is at Warsaw Beach. I'll skip this story. I'll go to one more important story. Okay, so I'll go to this story where this lady's name is Anandi Bai, and she lives by river only. There's a river, and you can see in this picture where in her house there is a range of termite hills, and she believed that the termite hills are a part of nature, and even humans are part of nature, and they can live happily together. Okay, and when we live in our flats or apartment, and a cockroach bhi aata hai, so we want to kill that cockroach. So basically, the idea of coexisting, I don't know uh, how to explain this, but in our school, people, they they immediately want to kill the insect in their house. But here, the Adivasis, they have tradition to live with in harmony with the nature. Okay, so I was I was lucky to. I did not know Anandi by that time, but I was visiting a pada and I saw this termite hill and they were renovating their house. So I shot this picture before I know the Anandi Bai. And this was her house she was renovating and they did not remove the termite hill. So it was like later I discovered went to the same house after a few years and they were the same house. So I was lucky to shot this picture, and this something to think about ki where we draw the line, what is nature and what is uh, how we should be living with the nature basically. Okay, so there is another picture where I want to tell about See, I'm not. I'm taking water. Basically, water is uh, we get water from the river, and river are just not a environmental thing. Like basically, we talk about environment. When we want to talk about environment, we talk about animals, insect, and birds like that. But being even we are part of environment, and we don't talk about that. So basically, for me, the rivers make the culture, river make the civilization. Okay, so I'm talking about these people who lived by the river and they depend on the river on day-to-day basis. So here, I want to tell a story where the people from city, when they have their birthdays or some occasion, they come to the spadas and they want to celebrate their events. So there was one person who, when I was there at National Park, inside National Park at Pada, I saw one car coming in. You can read this. I saw one car coming in. Okay, the person stopped his car. He came by honking only. So wherever the children were there inside their houses, they came running to the car. Okay, and they stood like in the queue. Okay, and suddenly that gentleman came out of the car and he's opened his uh, uh, the dicky of his car, and he started distributing Parle G biscuit. Okay, for me it was very sad uh, incident. Like with the he's just giving 5 rupees biscuit packet, and he's treating these children like beggars. You can see in the picture. 1 minute. The
Aslam,
slide is not.
yeah, Aslam,
Yeah,
I'm going to give you just 10 more minutes.
minutes.
Yeah.
I'll
You should just
wait
go
a minute.
little quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. I think my
Is your screen frozen?
yeah. 1 minute. Okay. Is it working now?
Oh, it's okay.
So this is another picture where the gentleman is giving biscuit to the children. Okay. And this is another shot where a boy, okay, he's waiting for his turn to get the biscuit. So with our 5 rupees biscuit, we are making these children, they don't understand, or like they're very young to understand that. Okay. If somebody wants to help, he can go to house and talk to them, right? And give them whatever they want. And like we we should ask them what they want, basically. Instead of what we are doing is we are showing our own we are so wealthy and we can donate things. So this is again one picture where somebody has given a lot of frames in one of the padas, and this boy is wearing all these frames. So somebody who is want to donate or something, don't we like it's our duty to ask them what they want, right? Instead of giving what we have. Okay, so these are a few more pictures of the Isa River. The Isa River got flooded. That's actually that's SGNP road, and this is the river. Okay, this was 2017. The Isa River. Okay. So I'll go to another story I'll come to this again. This I started in 2019 and I suppose. Uh, it was a part of Living Water Museum's project called Confluence. And this is a story of Bishti. Bishtis are the people who deliver water through this leather bag called the musk. And Bishtis are basically, originally it's a community in Rajasthan which delivers or collect water and distribute water. Okay, so this there are very few Bishtis left in Bombay, and in 2019 when I started, there were only 10 people uh, who were distributing water with this leather bag. Okay, and let's see some pictures and I'll tell you what happened to them. So basically, this is a bag where they can carry 30 liters of water in this bag. So this gentleman name is Mansoor, and he is the one who repair or make these bags. And there were hardly 10 people who were using these bags, so he did not have any work to do. So he went away to his hometown in UP. And what happened next is these people, that every 2 months they have to repair this bag. And for months, the Bishti people, there were nobody to repair and maintain that. So finally, they have to leave this bag and they started using this bucket, plastic bucket. So the tradition was gone basically. So in this exhibition, in this story, I tried to tell a fading culture of Bombay. Okay. So there is another initiative of mine. I started taking people to the river. The project name is Hallu Hallu. So at least once in a month, I take people and I try to make them understand what is river ecosystem, who are the people who live, what is the culture around the river. Okay. Yeah. So that's it from, I've presented 2 projects from my side. If anybody wants to ask me question about my projects or how I shoot pictures, you can ask me.
Thanks a lot, Aslam. I'm going to be the one to ask you some questions first, and then I'll open it up to the audience. But may I request people, if you have any specific questions, to also put them in the chat box, please, and then we'll also take them from there. But thank you, Aslam. You've got a very rich repertoire of photographs, and your camera speaks words to us. So I wanted to.
Thank you.
When I was doing my research on the Chipko movement, and I was 19 or 20 years old, up in the Uttarakhand mountains, this old lady, she touched my camera and she asked me, how is this going to change my life? You know, like, you're just here taking pictures, and how is it going to change my life? And I was, when you're 21 or, I mean, whatever, what do you say? You know, you're just beginning your journey in development, really. But I'm sure that's a question you have been asked many times as well. You know, and I wanted to ask you to think a little bit, or maybe share, how working as a photographer without objectifying people, making them subjects rather than objects of your work, how does that happen?
So should I ask, like, there are 2 questions, right?
The question is, how, as a photographer, would you think of making people subjects rather than objects of your work? I mean, that's what you've been showing us. You've been showing us some powerful things.
So I don't shoot them as a subject, basically. I become a part of them basically. So it's not about me going there and shooting suddenly.
Mhm.
So it never mostly it doesn't happen like that. So for me, when I went there, like as I said, I showed in my story or in my presentation, I started exploring that area, the Isar River, and I started understanding them. I met that girl, I met the children, I talked to them. I went several times before I actually started seriously taking the pictures. I became part of their pada. I became part of their celebration, and I was one of the member. Like during there are like they celebrated a lot of other festivals, so I became part of that thing. And gradually, I started taking pictures. So what I showed is there are hardly 10, 15 pictures I showed you, but I have at least 10, like at least 2,000 pictures I have, where I also shared my pictures with them. I printed all those pictures and I exhibited it like for only for the village people. So not just for my story. So because also they wanted me to take the pictures, like anybody who wants to wearing new clothes or they want to pose for something. So that may not be part of my storytelling pictures, photo story. But this is how I don't say barter, but this is how I win their interest. I become trustworthy and they know what I'm doing. So gradually, it's a very gradual and very slow process. It's not fast as you go and take pictures, and so they have to build a relationship and trust. That's how it works basically. This is my style basically.
Okay, so basically it's like slow photography. I mean, you have to build that
Yeah, yeah,
relationship of trust
yeah.
and
So I was
respect.
also part when it got their house, like their Pada was flooded.
Mhm.
So I also helped them with a few things like the school. The school books were damaged, so I crowdfunded on Facebook. Like at least 20 school children, I got them new school books.
Right.
So photography comes very later, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
In a way, you're also involved in their lives, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So then, how would I mean? Do you do workshops, or how do you work with young people in India these days with a culture which is so obsessed with the self, and not just with selfies, but taking pictures everywhere and making everything into an Insta moment. How would you? I mean, do you work with young people? Like, do you train in them in the art of photography, but also the context around photography, and the context around taking a picture? What does that mean? And so how,
Okay.
I mean, I think that, we've become a very inward looking culture. And how do we make people think about photography, not just as something I click with my cell phone and, put myself in a beautiful location, and I don't
Okay.
care about anyone else over there.
So everyone's style is very different. Everyone's thinking is very different. You can't judge just because you do a thing in certain way. I can't tell them your thing is wrong. But thing is, what for me is what I'm doing is should be should support the community. What I'm trying to do is my art should work for the community. This is what I do. But coming again to the new generation or some people who every day shoot and put it on Instagram, this is basically is the first 2-3 years of anybody's photography where they have to exercise they should make they should learn photography, and this is how you learn photography. Every day you to take pictures. You like this is a good exercise to like you how you get trained to take good pictures. But how you're going to use it later, this is very important. Even when I was a new photographer, there was no Instagram that time, but I used to post on Orkut and Facebook. And you want to get some appreciation for the people, that is motivating. So that is not a bad exercise. Yeah, I think that is very important part of any photographer's life, where they click certain pictures and they should post it. That is, but we should not be content like after 10 years if you're doing the same thing. Then it's a little worrying thing basically. So initial years, of course, you should do it because you're learning photography. I should say that. Have I answered your question?
A little bit, but we can come back to it later. Mansee, do you want to ask anything? And I'm also opening up the floor to others now, if people would like to ask questions.
Yeah, thank you, Sara. Thank you so much. And honestly speaking, Aslam, I'm really at awe of not only your photography, but the sensitivity at which you are really observing things. First of all, I've already written in the chat box the way you present the temporal and spatial life of the river, you know, from the hinterland or the jungle to where it meets the sea, and how the life of the river is changing not only by the topography, by the landscape, but also by the people, by the nature of the people, by the infrastructure and our association with it. So hats off to you. Kudos for your good work.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. At the same time, I was looking at the way you really made some sharp observations, whether it was the little girl or the amma about whom you were talking about, and even the philanthropist, you know, and deep questions, the way you are really doing your work. I have some of queries about the way you work around because as Sara used the word slow photography, and I'm hearing it for the first time, and I'm really impressed because you also mentioned it as a response that you are living through the experience, and photography is kind of something probably not an outcome, but just one of the products. I mean, not products, but one of the results. Not intended to do the photography upfront, but of course you were a photographer when you went through. But photography just happened. It was not the agenda to go and photograph. So my question to you is on that picture where you showed a dam. And on one side you had us, and on the other side you had those little children who were playing and not littering at all, and they were with the river. We had us who were just touching the river for an hour, and we just go and have picnic and litter around probably most of the time, and we come back from the river. This whole sense of association, and now I see Aslam here, who is actually on that middle ground, who is living an urban lifestyle but trying to understand the local people, as you rightly mentioned, the owner of the people. So where do you think that people like you can be extremely instrumental to bring a change in the way we look at things? Because Sara made a very interesting remark about her work, when she said that people were asking her how her photography is going to change their life. And your presentation already showed that actually we don't need to change their life. They are the privileged people. You gave the example of river and children playing and no boundaries of river. How do you think people like us and all the water fraternity, we are the minority in the country, we discussed this yesterday as well when we were calling, this kind of work are extremely useful. What are the ways which you are exploring to sensitize us, the educated urban people?
Okay, so
you have this Hallu Hallu is one of the ways. I know.
So like even my wife said, how much you have changed their life. It's like basically what happens, you take picture, and I exhibited all this picture. I have that slide also where I did at least 30-40 exhibition on road, on street, where I had whatever picture you saw, I exhibited on road, and let people on the street come and see the river or nala you're crossing is after like from 3 kilometers from here, it's a beautiful and serene. And people were shocked to see that, to know from me कि अरे ये river तो ये तो गटर है यहाँ, river तो है ही नहीं, आप कैसे river बोल रहे हैं इसको? So there was one pawala cycle pe he used to go like he told me 7 years he's crossing this nala. He did not know that there was a river. There is a river from here, and he उसके अंदर भी उसने लिखा हो. I've taken their feedback in my book. He's written that also in Hindi about that. So for me, like from when I started this exhibition, So I wanted to show people, first of all, this is not Nala, this is river. And I exhibited. So this is my own way of changing the world. I'm not changing the world, but for me, at least I'm saying this. And this is, for me, this is a trophy. Okay.
Yes, very well put. Actually,
Yeah.
I have seen also that good dahisar inside the Sanjay Gandhi National Park, and I was surprised because I just took a water walk in Sanjay Gandhi National Park last month, and I could never imagine that inside Mumbai, I can see such a clean river. I have walked into the river, by the way, I can see my feet and beautiful pebbles and everything. And then you come out and you see those nalas with all the filth which you were showing.
So I'm not completed yet. So thing is that what I understood is, why not we leave them alone? They're capable of handling their own thing. And COVID time, it showed that like they can live without us. Like they are like good enough to survive, and we did not survive basically. So they have everything. They have their own ecosystem which they can derive the things, and they can survive, right? So first thing is, why not we leave them alone without interfering in their area? That's one thing we should understand that, and we should acknowledge their part of wisdom and their part of culture, which they are very rich in it. They don't want our education. We don't want to go and educate them. They already know how to live their life, how to live sustainable life. That's one thing I understood from them. Okay. And so for that, what I started is, I started this river walk. And why not let people come and meet these people and understand their lifestyle, their culture, by engaging with them. Okay. So I don't have to teach them what is environment, what is sustainable. These are very fancy words. We just go and talk to them, we'll understand. And in subconscious mind, it goes into their mind. And suppose I want, sometimes like some project comes. If some project come inside National Park in Bombay, at least the people who have visited my tours, they would at least think about this indigenous people for few seconds. This project is going to make them more vulnerable. At least that kind of conversation will happen. So that is what I am intending to do. I'm not an activist who is going on road and fighting I'm not doing activism that way. But at least when things come in newspaper, when they are reading, so what we say, अरे ये 2 मिनट का रास्ता हो जाएगा, अरे कितना मस्त है, मेट्रो हो गई अपने को, it will become very fast. But वो मेट्रो कहाँ से गई है, किसका घर तोड़ के गई है, एटलीस्ट वो तो पता चलेगा कि ये आदिवासी लोग का घर तोड़ के गई है. अगर वो भी दिमाग में आ गया, तो माय प्रोजेक्ट इज, मतलब कुछ हुआ मेरे से, ऐसा मुझे.
Very well put. Very well put, actually. I mean, we are so much on the same page. So Rashmi has a question.
See, there are a few questions. So there's a question in the chat box from Ojaz Mali, I think. Ojaz, do you want to unmute yourself and ask your own question?
Yeah, thank you. It was a great presentation, the great style of presentation, without very less words on the slides and more pictures, made it interesting. But I had a quick question. It was about the privilege and saying that the people around the rivers are privileged and we are underprivileged. But what I have seen, and I think what everyone in this room has seen, is the privileged ones who stay around the rivers are the ones who get affected first and more brutally by climate disasters as compared to the underprivileged people. So my question is, how do you think this climate injustice should be treated? And is there a way to solve this climate injustice?
Okay. So what you mean by climate injustice?
So here in this case, the underprivileged ones who don't have the access to the river directly are, in my opinion, are affecting the river in majority. But
Right.
the people who are staying near the river, who have direct access to river, they don't contribute in harming the river, but the effect of the underprivileged ones causes disasters in their life.
So you already have said what you want to know, basically.
Yeah, but my
So what
question
is
is
your
how
question?
to my question is how to think how this climate injustice should be treated, because we just talk about
I
this
think we all
and
know what should be done. Everyone like we know what is happening, and basically it's a indirect answer to your question. I saw a lot of people. I see a lot of people who go to national park for morning walk. There are hundreds of people they go. And I see a lot of wildlife photographers. They go inside national park or any jungle and take pictures too. I saw a lot of cyclists. They use this. So we are all consumers. The person who is doing yoga in national park, I don't see him fighting for coming in Morcha to fight against that project. I don't see that wildlife photographer or wedding photographer coming and shouting slogan against the project. So ये जब तक नहीं हो रहा है ना, we are all consumers. Basically, we want everything to get consumed, but we don't want to go to fight. So first of all, everybody knows what happened to RA, right?
yeah.
At least we actually defeated people, but suddenly the government changed and things went around. So people, there is power of people, definitely yes. So we should vote somebody who understand environment. That is one way of telling you that who understand environment, who will protect the environment or the people or culture, right?
Okay, but do you think some system level changes could help, or
It's
according to
already
your
there.
experience?
Our system level is already there. Constitute is already supporting environment. We don't have to. We don't need new rules. It's already been
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Thank you. Just
Rashmi Mahajan, you have your hand up.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Aslam. It was a really interesting presentation, and I've been following you on Instagram and Twitter for quite a while. And I'm a fan of your work.
Thank you so much.
But I just I have some 2-3 small questions. Am I allowed to ask those 3 questions one by one? It's really, really interesting. So please let me know. Otherwise, I'll just ask one question.
Fine, it's fine. Go ahead, Rashmi.
Yeah. So one first question which came to my mind is, so you have been doing these walks, the Hisar River walks for quite a while. So did you see kids from younger generation showing interest in leading such walks on their own in that area to tell people about who come for these walks, to tell about their culture by on their own? Like, have they shown this interest? And what was their reaction when you told them that you are going to begin these walks? That was my one question. Another is there is this pictures where you're showing that they have started celebrating Navaratri festival recently, which they were not doing earlier. So we see this, and it's not like the first thing. This is happening in different parts of country where people from cultures where they did not celebrate these Hindu festivals have started celebrating these festivals because they want to be part of that mainstream culture. So have you had any discussions, or have you heard from the community that why they would like to why do they feel the need to start celebrating something new which was not part of their culture? I can understand it's a youth aspiration to be part of a crowd which is a homogeneous crowd, but yeah, I just wanted to know their perception about it. I'll stop here at 2 questions. Yeah.
Okay. So first question is, have the other people also started doing the walk? You like younger people, right?
Yeah.
So after I started Hallu Hallu. I don't know because I did not. कैसा पहले होता था कि मुझे नहीं मालूम. But now people have started doing a lot of this kind of walk, and that is again like slow walks and slow something is coming. So I see the things are there are many things like, I will not say copy, because copy will not be a right word, but people get inspired, and somebody, even I got inspired with someone, right? So there are like, I see a lot of other tour company also doing the same thing, which I might be wrong. I don't know exactly, but I see there is a lot of cultural interaction and environment works happening in Mumbai, at least. I see. And secondly, you said ki, this is called cultural acculturation. What you saw the change in the minority when you are in majority of people. That is very natural process everywhere it happens. So if people live in Bombay, people like Bombay, and there were Bombay was basically Koliwadas and Padas basically, and suddenly like in 18th century it got urbanized, and it gradually became urbanized. So definitely the powerful community dominates the weaker community, and it happens. So that is a part and parcel, and that's why I'm studying anthropology. I'm in second year anthropology, and to study if you meet me after a year, I will be able to tell you more clearly on this. And also to understand the environment part, I did my MSc in environmental science recently. So with this environmental and anthropology, I'll be more technically correct, if I will say. दिमाग से तो मतलब दिल से तो मैं करेक्ट रास्ते में जा रहा हूँ ऐसा मुझे लग रहा है, but I wanted to more academically correct. I wanted to present my thing more rightly or in right way. So ऐसा. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you say, but like, I mean, I just feel that as long as while they are becoming part of the bigger culture, they don't lose their
See,
own culture.
see, this is what we have. No. That's not their responsibility. Our responsibility,
Yeah,
basically. So how we are
I
treated, how,
understand that.
yes, you understand, right? So we are making the projects, we are making so many things, and when they were already independent people, and we are making them dependent.
Yeah,
So if they are coming to my house, they will learn things from my. If they are working as a housemaid in my house, they will take something from my house, right?
yeah.
If we are invading and encroaching their jungle, so they have to come out of the jungle.
True.
Right. So ये 5,000 साल पहले से हो रहा है. The first colonization happened in Gangetic Plains, right? We cleared forest in Gangetic Plains. That was the first colonization.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's not, I mean, it's for not us to tell them what they should do and they should not do, but it's
I know
sad.
people, I know people who came to my photography walks in on Adivasi Day, and they told me, these people are not naked, they are wearing clothes. And one of the school tours I'm doing recently to Daisa River, the principal is asking me they should not having iPhones with them. I was shocked to hear from that person. Why not Adivasi can have iPhones?
So are there any other questions? Aslam, do you want to add anything else that you feel you may have missed out? Or
No.
I think we're at the end.
I'm good. I'm okay with it. I was this presentation is little longer actually, so I was not. I'm sorry for the flow was not good actually. I was not in a good flow basically. So I'll say sorry for that.
You don't have to apologize, Aslam. I think everyone, actually not most people, everyone enjoyed the presentation, and there was a lot of food for thought over there, a lot of learning, and a very sensitive eye with which you take pictures. And I think that's important. And I'm really glad that you're learning this combination of environmental sciences and anthropology, because, that's, how do I describe it? That's a great way of perhaps being you are a good photographer, but this will really help you build your craft in a way, and help you also think through some of these process issues that you have brought to our attention right now. How does one deal with these issues? So good. I mean, it's
thank you.
As a photographer, you were talking about building responsibility and trust and everything with people and communities that you work with. But also sometimes some photographers, particularly those who cover war, they don't have that time and they just have to go in and take pictures. And often that has raised questions about ethics, you know?
Right.
How do you photograph a war? How do you photograph a dead body instead of helping the person get up, or or whatever? I mean, there are multiple questions over there. Rashmi, did you have any more questions? Because I'm handing it back to Mansee. We'll be closing soon.
Okay, I had just one question if there is time. So I was very interested to hear that Aslam is doing these road exhibitions instead of doing those specific gallery exhibition, which is taking these exhibitions to many more people. And so did you see any reaction from people where they showed any interest in asking their immediate government to clean that part of the river, or making it responsible to keep it clean in future? Did they show any interest like that? Like,
So
I mean,
basically, yeah.
they
Yeah, please ask.
definitely told you that they never knew that such river existed inside and outside was the condition of river was like that. So did they show any interest like that outside river also should become what it was like inside? Like, was there any
See, we
interest?
have we are such a people. We like everything, but we don't want to do it ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And our system is such a way, like when you live in a city like Mumbai, you where you are going to throw your garbage. Even if you are throwing the garbage in the dustbin, where it is going to go. So basically, only thing is when you understand yourself, how you are minimalizing your consumption. That is one way of doing it. So that automatically it cleans. Cleaning the river is the last thing we have to do it. Okay, consuming less is the one good way of cleaning the river. Right? If you're going for a market to buy something, at least you carry your own bag. That is one way of keeping the river clean. I say that.
Okay, Sara, shall I?
Yes, go ahead, Mansee.
Thank you so much. And Aslam, trust me, I enjoyed it so much for today because you were almost speaking my heart. So whether you do photography, whether you do engineering, whether you do any environmental science, or do philanthropy or anthropology, end of the day, how you look at the world is really matters to all of us. And your photography today again reminded me of Kevin Carter's The Vulture and the Little Girl, which I use in every research method course, and especially when I'm talking about research ethics. And the way you talk about it. So it was very enlightening session, and I really look forward to doing something together with you, especially in the education front, because you have a very good way of doing practice and education, because you are also educator. I read it from your work, and you have been very well documented. I wish I had met you before to do many more things, but we have more time to do it in future. Because there are very few people with whom you can really sync in the way you think, but you do a lot of things with others. So work is one thing, but how closely you are associated with it or you believe in it, your work really shows that. So again, congratulations for it, and keep doing the hard work. I know this is not an easy work to do. And you also responded so well to some of our questions, because the moment we do this kind of work, the expectation to bring a change itself fails the purpose of the work. And you are not really seeing it in that light. You are really just doing your bit. And if change happens, it happens. I mean, you're not working for the change or for doing those things. So it's also a question where youth have to really look for in their own career, that we should not look for outcome right after we have invested our time and energy and emotion into a project. We should just keep working on it. And you will realize one day in your life how things change, not only for yourself, but also for the society. Change is slow, but there is change. So thank you so much, Aslam, for really bringing those insights to us. Photography is just a medium to bring those insights, but in your heart, what you are was very clear from your speech as well as your photography. And thanks, Sara, for really finding out these diamonds for us and bringing them here in the Friday.Waters Arts, because it's extremely important that these discourses goes in light, even in the water fraternity, apart from the community, because if we keep talking scientific part of water, we are already doing injustice to the water subject. And that's the very idea of Friday.Waters, series, where we step aside from the scientific discourse and we get into looking into films, looking into thesis or research, hardcore research, talk to authors, talk to artists and photographers and documentary filmmakers. So thanks again to all the participants who have been joining us. We have really crossed many sessions. We are inching towards 250 sessions, to be honest, with Wednesdays for Water as our lead series. Then Friday.Waters and Monday Munching with Women for Water, where we talk about the women who are engaging in the water sector. We look forward to having you again and again. And we are going slow in the month of October, November, and December. That means that we are going to have fewer sessions, and it is to clear all our backlog and come up with some manuscripts and writings and articles. So you may find us little lesser on the digital platform and talking, but there are going to be shows, and we are going to keep you informed about it, because we are having more physical activities in these months. We are reducing our digital footprint for a couple of months, and we hope to come back stronger in our fourth season, which is going to start from January. But stay tuned at www.w4w.in to keep checking what are the sessions which we are going to host. So do keep an eye on our website, and also do keep checking the Living Waters Museum, because I came to know about Sara through that project. And trust me, I can't imagine of a better scholarship than working in that kind of, repository where water needs to be documented in that form. And many artists are there, and many storytellers like Aslam are there. Take care of yourself, and we see each other very soon. And thanks to all of you.
Thank you.
So let me thank also, thank you, Sara, for the multiple opportunities I'm getting from Living Water Museum. And it's actually has changed me a lot. And thank you, W4W Foundation, for giving me this opportunity to come after a long time and talking online. मेरी थोड़ी आदत चली गई है इस पे ऑनलाइन बात करने की. So thank you so much.
You are just a gem. Trust me on that. I mean, I'm just connecting you outside this series session also. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Aslam. Hope to see you soon.